the latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Those who are liking, sharing, commenting, I say thank you so much. Our all in alls, our saviors, our protectors, the unifiers, the messiahs, the King of Kings, the most loved, Abdurrahmani Chiani, Asimi Guaita, our generals, and Captain Ibrahim Traore have decided to call the ambassadors from Algeria. Algeria and Mali has a beef, and this started last year. Those who are following me on TikTok, you've seen that I made a video concerning the Tinzawatin issue when Algeria have to also meddle in the affairs of the terrorist activities that happened in Tinzawatin, according to reports. And this beef, finally they decided to make peace, and they said it was a misunderstanding here and there, so there was peace. And today another issue has happened. According to our all-in-alls, Algeria destroyed the military drones that are going to be used to neutralize the terrorist groups that were found around that area. And this, to them, Algeria didn't do it right. It is against international rules. The reason to which Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are called the ambassadors is because now we know AES is a confederation and they are together, so whatsoever happens to one happens to the rest. And I've seen that with what Algeria is doing, it's against Mali and it's against Niger and Burkina as well. So that is the reason to which they are calling the ambassadors out of Algeria.
With you, a statement from the presidency of the AIS Confederation.
Indeed, on the instructions of the highest authorities of our country, I have the distinct honor of delivering the statement from the College of Heads of State of the Confederation of the States of Israel, AES. The College of Heads of State of the AES Confederation regrets the destruction of a drone belonging to the Armed and Security Forces of the Republic of Mali, registered TZ98D, following an act of hostility by the Algerian regime on the night of March 31st to April 1st, 2025 in Tinzawatin, Abebara Circle in the Kidal region. The College of Heads of State of the AES Confederation recalls that in accordance with its decision dated December 22, 2024, it decided, among other measures, to make the confederal space a single theater of military operations. Consequently, the College of Heads of State of the AES Confederation considers the destruction of the Malian Armed and Security Forces drone as an aggression targeting all member states of the AES Confederation and a treacherous way to promote terrorism as well as contribute to the destabilization of the region. This incident is all the more serious as it emerges from the conclusions of the investigation that the destruction of the drone prevented the neutralization of a terrorist group that was planning terrorist acts against the AES. The College of Heads of State of the AES Confederation condemns, with the utmost vigor, this irresponsible act by the Algerian regime, in violation of international law, and contrary to the historical and fraternal relations between the peoples of the AES Confederation and the Algerian people. Furthermore, the College of Heads of State of the AES decides to recall for consultation the ambassadors of member states accredited in Algeria. The College of Heads of State of the AES, on one hand, reminds the Algerian regime that the eradication of terrorism remains an existential struggle for the AES. On the other hand, demands from it to adopt a constructive stance and to finally contribute to the promotion of peace and security in our region. Finally, the College of Heads of State of the Confederation, AES, reassures the populations that the defense and security forces remain fully mobilized to ensure their safety and defend the integrity of the confederal space. Done in Bamako. On April 6, 2025, General of the Army Assimi Goïta President of the Transition, Head of State of the Republic of Mali, President of the Confederation of Sahel States, AES.
Communique number 073 from the Transitional Government. The Transitional Government regrets to inform the public that on the night of March 31st to April 1st, 2025, in the A drone of the Armed and Security Forces of the Republic of Mali, it was registered TZR 98D and crashed on national territory in Tenzawati and Avevara district, Niquidal region. The wreckage was precisely located in an area with the following geographical coordinates: 19 dig fit 2 photo 7310, 2 dig fit 338 101E at 9.5, 53 min 38 100, a second one is at 9.5 kilometers south of the Mali-Algeria border. Following this incident, an investigation was immediately launched. From the results of the preliminary investigation, the following points deserve to be mentioned. The connection was lost with the device in a position located on Malian territory with the following geographical coordinates: 19 degrees, 51 minutes, 5150.5 P26N, Sude, 2 degrees bid, 53 minutes, 36.099 seconds, 5336.099s, or 10.2 kilometers south of the border, Mali-Algeria. The distance between the point of loss of connection with the device and the location of the wreckage is 441 meters. These 2 points are both located on national territory. The last information transmitted by the drone was related to a meeting of high-profile terrorists who were planning actions. The aircraft fell vertically, which probably can only be explained by a hostile action involving missile fire, SOLA, or ARA. A few hours after the incident, the transitional government learned through the press of a statement from the Algerian Ministry of Defense claiming the destruction of a drone that allegedly flew over Algerian airspace for 2 kilometers. In order to deepen the investigations, the Malian authorities have asked the Algerian authorities to provide them with conclusive and detailed evidence, the violation of their airspace by a Malian reconnaissance drone. For 72 hours, no satisfactory response has been given to the Malian request. The transitional government concludes with absolute certainty that the drone of the Malian security forces was destroyed following a hostile action premeditated by the Algerian regime. This decision is based on the following elements: the culpable silence of the Algerian regime in response to the Malian request and its refusal to cooperate confirm the responsibility of this regime, which fired on the drone, causing its vertical fall. The precise trajectory data of the aircraft recorded in the system unambiguously prove that the aircraft never left the airspace of the Republic of Mali. Moreover, the point of the drone's communication break and the location of the wreckage are both situated on Malian national territory. The absurdity of the argument regarding the violation of Algerian airspace over 2 kilometers. In other words, how? The drone wreckage would have ended up in Mali and 9.5 kilometers from the borderline if the device had indeed violated Algerian airspace by 2 kilometers. In light of the seriousness of this act of aggression, unprecedented in the history of relations between Mali and Algeria, the transitional government condemns with the utmost severity this hostile, unfriendly, condescending action by the Algerian authorities, whose head of state recently stated on Mondovision that, I quote, 90% of Malian solutions are found in Algeria. Another, this silence proves, if proof were needed, that the Algerian regime sponsors international terrorism. Indeed, the destruction of the drone clearly has the effect, if not the purpose, of hindering the neutralization of the armed group that claimed responsibility for terrorist acts. The transitional government, in this unfortunate circumstance, while recalling the content of its communiqué, number 64 of January 25, 2024, and that of Mali's address during the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly, condemns the attitude of the Algerian regime, which, in addition to serving as a rear base for the terrorist group, is now engaging in armed struggle to perpetrate aggressions against a neighboring state in order to protect its terrorist supporters. As a result, in response to this umpteenth provocation by the Algerian regime, the transitional government decides to 1. Summon the Algerian ambassador to protest against the hostility of the Algerian regime. 2. Withdraw immediately Ibadia Onu from the Joint Staff Committee CIMOC. 3. File full complaints before international bodies against the Algerian regime for acts of aggression. Also, the transitional government notes that this blatant aggression by the Algerian regime against Mali contradicts the effective participation of the Republic of Mali in the war for Algeria's independence to support the National Liberation Front FLN. Finally, it calls on the Algerian regime, an exporter of terrorism, to stop being a threat to regional peace and security, and to adopt responsible behavior aimed at promoting peace and development. The transitional government reiterates to the Malian population that nothing will undermine the determination of the Malian Defense and Security Forces, under the leadership of His Excellency, General of the Army, Assimi Goïta. The transition, led by the head of state, is committed to pursuing and achieving the noble goal of eradicating terrorism in all its forms. Following this resolve, in the hours after the Algerian regime's aggression against the Malian drone, significant terrorist targets were successfully struck in the locality of Tenzawatine and elsewhere on Malian territory. These operations will continue and may intensify depending on the evolution of the situation. May God bless Mali, preserve the Malian people, made in Bamako on April 6, 2025.
This is not a time for us to allow ourselves to be used by somebody to destabilize the other. This is the time we are supposed to be united. We saw Algeria after the incident of Tenzawatine coming together to make peace with their brothers. And there were a lot of things that Algeria promised and were so excited when they unified. And what is happening again today? Just last year, and now we are having this problem between Mali and Algeria again. This is not good. We've seen that these people even had a problem with Ukraine. When Ukraine openly came out to admit that they have given vital information to some terrorist groups that caused the destabilization in Mali, they took it to the UN. Till date, we don't know what UN is doing. We have to be fighting for a unification. We are calling for Africans to unite. We want unity. This is not what we are looking for in Africa. Africa will want to unite. We will always call our leaders to unite because our strength lies in our unity. If we were united, there is nobody that will be able to use the other country against the other. We are all together in this fight. And if Africa will move forward, it's not about how we talk beautifully in our AU meetings. That's when we see that we are one people. But when we collectively defend ourselves and our brothers, that's when we say we are one people. So Algeria and any other country, we have to all see our brothers in the Sahel as our brothers and sisters. They are fighting a cause for freedom. We are tired of the oppression. We are tired of all the bad treatment that we've received from these people, Yolo Popo, for all these centuries. Enough of it. That's what Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are saying. Enough of this thing. We have to stand up to these people and safeguard our territories and safeguard our continent. Africa deserves better. The African deserve better. And we have to all unite as a people. And it will start from you, the leaders. You will give us the opportunity to rise up together and support whatsoever you are doing so that we'll get Africa to where we want Africa to be. We can never do it alone. And there's no country that can defeat these people alone without us uniting. And that is why these people are doing everything possible to make sure they don't bring us the unity, and will always create enmity among us if we allow ourselves. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa, West Africa, and in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso.